Welcome back, friends. Today we're diving into something truly special, chicken doner, cooked by a local recipe that's been in the family for generations. As the aroma fills the kitchen, you can almost feel the stories of family gatherings and Sunday lunches coming alive. Before we go further, don't forget to hit subscribe. You won't want to miss more family recipes, kitchen stories, and those little moments that make cooking so special. Look at this beauty. Did you know that horses can actually recognize human emotions? Their ears, eyes, and even breathing change depending on how we feel. My wife is already starting to prepare the dough for the doner. It's always magical to watch her hands work, almost like a little dance in the kitchen. Quick life hack. Letting the dough rest a bit longer than usual makes it softer and fluffier, giving that perfect texture that everyone remembers from family meals. I absolutely love riding horses. There's something about the rhythm of their gallop that instantly clears your mind and makes you feel alive. I remember one sunny afternoon as a kid, my grandfather let me ride across the fields for the first time, and I felt like I was flying. That memory still brings a smile every time I mount a horse. Now let's dive into the story of how doner came to be. It all started in Turkey, where the name literally means rotating. Traditionally, the meat was cooked on a vertical spit, slowly turning over open fire, filling the air with a smoky aroma that would gather entire neighborhoods. Families would prepare doner for special occasions, and every household had its own secret mix of spices. Some recipes were guarded jealously, passed down from grandmother to mother. In different regions, doner was made with lamb or beef, but in our family, chicken became the favorite. Tender, juicy, and perfect for our Sunday lunches. The way the meat is sliced today actually comes from small home kitchens. Thin slices ensured the meat cooked evenly and kept the perfect balance of crisp edges and juicy inside. Our own recipe started with my grandmother, who learned it from her mother. In their kitchen, cooking was never just about food. It was about stories, laughter, and passing down traditions. Here's a little insider tip. Letting the chicken rest in the marinade overnight or adding a small pinch of secret spices can completely transform the flavor. My wife has already washed the chicken and now she's getting ready to clean and cut it. It's always fascinating to see how a simple process can transform into the first step of something delicious. Fun fact, cutting chicken properly not only helps it cook evenly, but also keeps the meat juicier. It's a tip that home cooks have been passing down for generations. Meanwhile, I'm out collecting sticks for our doner cooking. It might sound simple, but each one has its purpose in getting the fire just right. It reminds me of childhood adventures, running through the woods, gathering just the right branches for campfires with friends. Little moments like these always make the process feel more personal. And now, as I head back home with my mini harvest, I can't wait to see how these sticks will help turn our family recipe into something magical on the plate. My wife is still busy with the chicken, and she even shared a little with our dogs. They're just as excited for family cooking time as we are. I've just returned home from my little adventure, and now it's time to build a mini oven for cooking our doners. The first step is mixing soil with hay and water. It transforms into a clay-like substance, almost like natural cement. Ancient cooks have been using similar mixtures for thousands of years to build ovens. Did you know that traditional earthen ovens can reach high temperatures without modern equipment? It's all about the right balance of soil, water, and organic material like straw. Cooking on the open ground has been part of human life for thousands of years. Long before ovens or stoves existed, people used simple fire pits and heated stones to roast meat and bake bread, turning survival into a daily ritual. In many early cultures, families would dig shallow holes, line them with hot stones, and cover the food with leaves or soil. This method slowly cooked meals, preserving flavors and tenderness, and often required hours of patience. Fun fact: roasting meat on embers or hot stones actually seals in the natural juices, giving it a flavor modern ovens often struggle to replicate. It's a technique that's been admired and refined for millennia. If you're enjoying this journey and want to see more family recipes and cooking stories, don't forget to hit subscribe. There's plenty more coming. Now I'll shape the oven into a semicircle using sticks as a frame. This shape isn't random. For centuries, cooks have used curved designs because they hold heat evenly and allow smoke to circulate around the food. Did you know that semicircular clay ovens were common in many ancient cultures? From Mediterranean tandoors to Middle Eastern taboons, the curved structure naturally distributes heat and retains it longer than flat surfaces. Families would often build these ovens outdoors, layering clay and straw over wooden frames. Children would watch and learn, making it as much a cultural lesson as a cooking process. One interesting fact, the semicircle shape allows you to add small vents or openings, letting you control airflow and temperature, which is key for roasting meat or baking bread perfectly. As I gently apply the clay over the sticks, it feels like sculpting. In rural communities, these ovens were often called the heart of the kitchen, the place where families gathered to cook, eat, and share stories. Historically, these clay ovens were used not just for meat, but also for flatbreads, vegetables, and even slow-cooked stews. The versatility is incredible and shows how practical design shaped cuisine. While shaping the oven, I can imagine families sitting nearby, telling stories, laughing, and teaching the next generation the art of cooking over a clay hearth, a tradition that has survived centuries. And finally, as the semicircular oven takes form, it's amazing to realize that such a simple, natural structure can transform raw ingredients into meals full of flavor, memory, and family history. Now I'm going to gather firewood for the oven. Preparing the right kind of wood is an art. It affects the temperature, the smoke, and ultimately the flavor of our doner. Meanwhile, my wife is finishing up with the chicken, making sure every piece is perfectly clean and ready for cooking. These little steps are what make a family recipe truly special. She's also going to prepare a homemade sauce for the chicken, a secret family blend that adds richness and depth, something passed down for generations. Did you know that skewering meat on a spit dates back thousands of years? Early cooks in the Middle East and Mediterranean used simple sticks over open flames to create evenly cooked, flavorful meals. The vertical rotisserie, like the one we're making today, evolved from these ancient methods. It allows the meat to cook slowly, with juices basting it naturally as it turns. Outdoor cooking has always been more than just survival. It's about community. Families and neighbors would gather around the fire, sharing stories while the food cooked, much like we do today. Now, as I prepare to skewer the chicken on the iron rod, I can see how this simple technique combines engineering, patience, and tradition to create something extraordinary. I carefully thread each piece onto the rod, just like our ancestors did, imagining the fires they built and the smells that drew everyone to the table. Now I'm lighting up my handmade oven, and the smell of burning wood instantly fills the air. There's something magical about cooking over a real flame. Did you know that cooking meat on a vertical spit allows the fat to drip down, basting the meat naturally and keeping it incredibly juicy? Using a homemade clay oven like this isn't just traditional, it's incredibly efficient. The semicircular shape traps heat, cooking the meat evenly while adding a subtle, smoky flavor. Historically, people would rotate the spit slowly by hand or with simple mechanisms, ensuring every layer got perfectly roasted. This method has been used for centuries across many cultures. my wife is finishing up the buns for our doner. These aren't just ordinary buns, they're soft and slightly sweet, yet sturdy enough to hold all the fillings. Families have perfected this balance over generations to make every bite satisfying. The slightly sweet flavor complements the spiced chicken perfectly, while the tender crumb soaks up the juices without falling apart. It's amazing how such a simple bread can elevate the entire meal. I can't help but recall the mornings of my childhood when my grandmother baked bread for the entire family. The aroma would fill the house, and it felt like the world paused just for that moment. Once the buns are ready, my wife starts slicing fresh vegetables, crisp cucumbers, ripe tomatoes, and sometimes lettuce. Each ingredient isn't random, it adds texture, freshness, and balance to the doner. Fun fact, cucumbers add a cooling crunch that balances the spices, while tomatoes bring subtle acidity that brightens every bite. This combination has been used in families for generations to create the perfect harmony. I remember helping my parents as a kid, slicing vegetables for our meals. Those small tasks felt important, a way to be part of something bigger, to contribute to the family table. Oh, the kids are already running over, hungry and excited to try our donors. Nothing beats that eager anticipation at the family table. Each element in the doner has a purpose. The bun holds everything together, the chicken fills, the vegetables refresh, and the sauce ties it all. It's a delicate balance that families have mastered over decades. Well, my wife is almost done. The final touches are going on the donors, and the kitchen smells incredible. Finally, it's time to sit at the table. The kids are buzzing with excitement, and we can hardly wait to take the first bite. Just look at them. Golden, juicy, and perfectly cooked. You can almost taste the aroma through the screen. This is what family meals are all about. Flavors, laughter, and memories that stay with you forever. If you're enjoying this journey with us, don't forget to hit subscribe. There's so much more cooking, stories, and family fun coming your way. Today we're deep in the mountains, you see, where the air smells like pine and childhood memories. My grandmother used to say, the best fish is the one cooked by the fire you built yourself. So today we're honoring her old recipe, cooking fish right in the pit, just the way our family has done for generations. If you love moments like this, simple food, real stories, and mountain air, don't forget to subscribe. Every week we share a little piece of our village life. Fish in a pit isn't just a recipe, it's a survival story turned family ritual. Long before stoves or ovens reached these mountains, people had to work with what they had: soil, fire, and river fish. Cooking in a pit became a clever way to use the earth as insulation, as a natural oven that could hold heat for hours. The origins go back hundreds of years. Hunters and shepherds would dig a pit near the camp, line it with hot stones, wrap the fish in leaves, and bury it to cook while they rested. By morning, the meal was tender, smoky, and full of the scent of wild herbs. In those days, fire was protection. By burying the fire, they hid the smell from wild animals and kept the warmth longer through the cold nights. The pit was both practical and sacred. It represented safety and care. My grandfather told me that every spring when the river thawed, families would go fishing together. They'd catch what they could, dig the pit by hand, and spend the evening talking and laughing as the food slowly baked underground. Back then, nothing was wasted. The same soil that grew their vegetables was used to cook their fish. They believed that when food touched the earth, it gained strength from it, like it borrowed a bit of the mountain's spirit. What makes this dish special is patience. It takes hours to prepare and there's no shortcut. You can't rush the heat inside the ground. It teaches you to slow down, to trust time, and to share the weight with others. Each family had its own secret touch. Some lined the pit with river stones, others used aromatic branches like juniper or pine to infuse the fish. The smell alone could make people gather from neighboring houses. It's said that when travelers passed through the mountains, locals would welcome them with this dish. It showed hospitality. Giving someone food cooked in the same soil that fed your own family meant they were part of your story, even if just for one meal. Over time, fish in a pit became something made only on special occasions. Weddings, harvest festivals, or the first day of spring. Preparing it meant honoring the ancestors who once cooked the same way, with bare hands and shared fire. Even today, when we gather to make it, we don't just cook, we remember. Each layer of leaves, each scoop of soil, each ember tells a story of the people who built their lives in these mountains, far from cities, close to nature. My wife is carefully gathering wildflowers for tea. She always finds these quiet, beautiful moments, even when life feels busy and chaotic. Seeing her collect the flowers with such care reminds me that peace is created in simple, small actions, not in grand gestures. A subscriber recently asked, "How do you truly slow down and enjoy life?" I couldn't help but smile and point outside. It's right there in the little things. A basket of flowers, a calm morning, and the gentle presence of someone you love. We sit down together at the table, sipping the tea slowly. We talk, laugh, and sometimes just sit in silence, listening to the wind outside and the soft hum of the house. These are the moments that make everything else, the stress, the rush, the noise, fade away. What's your favorite way to enjoy tea? Do you like it with flowers, herbs, or maybe something sweet? Share your little rituals with me. I'd love to hear how you slow down and savor the moment. All right, it's time. We're finally taking the fish out of the pit. Can you smell that? The aroma is incredible, smoky and earthy, filling the whole kitchen. Just look at that golden crust. The edges are perfectly caramelized, and the fish is still juicy inside. It's exactly how our family has always done it. Here's a little life hack. When you cook fish in a pit, leave it wrapped in the leaves for a few extra minutes after uncovering. It keeps it tender and locks in all those flavors. My wife is carefully decorating the fish with fresh, vibrant vegetables, slices of bright red tomatoes, zesty lemon wedges, and even a few jewel-like pomegranate seeds. The colors alone tell a story before we even taste a bite. She arranges everything with such care, almost like painting a picture. Every lemon slice is placed just right, every pomegranate seed nestled perfectly. It transforms a simple meal into something that feels like a celebration. Here's an interesting fact. Pomegranate has been used in traditional mountain cooking for centuries. Not only does it add a delicate sweetness and tang, but it's also packed with antioxidants. finally, it's time to taste the fish, the first bite. Oh, it's incredible. Tender, smoky, and perfectly infused with the flavors of the herbs and citrus. If you enjoyed this little journey with us, don't forget to subscribe. Join our table for more stories, recipes, and moments from our family life in the mountains.